Howdy, y'all. So we're going to go back out front of the house and do some additions to the fence to close in some of my yard here and hopefully keep some dogs in. So yeah, let's get to work. Well, just like that, when I was going to finally give you a time lapse of some work, the memory card in the camera got full and you didn't get to see all this. So we'll work on this one hopefully on camera for y'all. All right, so yeah, let's give you a fresh memory card and some more battery life, and we'll get to putting some pickets up here. And pardon the voice here, I might be sniffling a bit. The allergies are in full effect now that spring is here. But anyway, this is the old cedar fence pickets that I got from somebody up near my mom's house. And we'll see if I have enough left to get this last section up here in the front to make a gate. And yeah, so we just have one section of about 8 feet that goes from that corner to here. And then we have another section on the other side that on this side we made two of them. So we have two 8-foot sections. So it's about 16 feet, which leaves a gap in between the driveway there of 20 feet, which is a good amount of space, I think, for putting or bringing cars in. And someday my boat will come over here and my little camper van. And yeah, we're going to put some gates in there, 10-foot sections each. We're going to make them out of wood. They're not the most conventional, and they're quite heavy in the end. But I'm going to keep this open most of the time. I'll just close it for keeping dogs in when I want to, do some work out front and not have to worry about keeping my eye on them. And then we're going to work on some field fencing along the side. So we're going to go in because it's New Tool Tuesday, and somebody sent me a tool, so we'll talk about that, demonstrate it, and then we'll get back to the fence. All right, we're going to come in real quick just to see what we got here. Got a company called SEESII that sent me this battery-operated pole saw, which is cool. I do have a corded one, but this is nice because it'll be farther away in my lot to use this one. And you can also use just the top piece, so which will be great. So if I ever want to go camping, or take my truck out in the logging roads and need to cut a branch or two, that might be helpful. Comes with a couple 2-amp batteries. And it comes with 2 extra chains, and there's one on here, so 3 chains altogether, which is nice. Not sure if you can find replacement chains online. Hopefully you can. But yeah, and it comes with a little charger and all that good stuff. So yeah, let's go outside and cut some stuff. All right, before I use this, just want to show you that, you have your, to change the chain, you just unscrew this one, or loosen this one first, because this will make it go back and forth, and then this one will take it all the way off. And this looks like it's in the way, but it's pretty light hinged, so it'll go through the branch and cut that off. And then we have our oil reserve here, so we put some bar oil in there, and it looks like it's not a self-feeder. I think you prime it with this, and it has a little extra. So we'll go do some cutting now that we're gonna have some lube. All right, so this is that upper front corner here, and we had cleared some out before, but now we're just trying this out to get some of the low hanging branches. They're not too big, and this thing isn't too powerful, especially with the little 2-amp batteries, but it's doing the job. There's a little demonstration on what you might come across if you're out camping, taking the pole off it. It cuts pretty well, for what it is. Yeah, not too bad. I think that was maybe a little maple or a cherry tree, so a little harder wood. Yeah, that works pretty well. This is coming down to the corner and front side to back. Just kind of clearing it out. You can see I put some stakes up in there, some T-posts, but I just kind of hammered them in real quick, just a few inches to find a line. Yeah, this little guy's doing good. This is coming around the back end of the house where, at the end of my lot, and then on the other side where the camera is. We just cleared that recently. But yeah, a little cedar tree that I decided to leave standing, but some of these branches are low and spreading out, so I figured this thing would be great. And it kind of just got done raining, so a couple of these branches, kind of bounces around a lot. And I think the chain got a little loose there, but we tightened it up, and it worked out just fine. Yeah, not too bad. It would have been nice if these came with like a 4-amp battery. You could get a little more power out of it. Some camouflage cutting because you can't see me there. We did a little bit more cutting, but I just was out of camera view, so you didn't see it. But I'm just kind of demonstrating how much one little 2-amp battery lasts. And this is some old maple wood, so a little bit harder to cut. You can kind of hear the saw bogging it down a little bit. You know, this isn't the most heavy-duty thing ever, but it's a nice little tool, I think. You know, definitely a good price point deal. So yeah, link in the description. Get a discount a little bit if you get it through the link for the next month or so. I think it ends in May or something like that. So check it on out. It's a cool little deal. I'll show it again in other videos, but that was the end of that battery. So back to fencing, and we'll make some gates. And what I'm doing here is just putting a little kerf on each end of these little 2x4s I got, and then chiseling the sections out there as smooth as I can. But you know, it's not perfect. This isn't indoor furniture, so not a huge deal. And we'll just do a little setup here. Put 2 3-foot sections down. Actually, those are 5-foot sections there. They're going left to right, and then 3 feet up and down. Yep. So we just, and I'm like, oh, how do I set this here when it's not on the table? So anyway. All right, so we got our cut pieces here and got them semi-smooth with the chisel. You know, there's a lot of gouges in here and ridges and whatever. That one's pretty bad, but it is what it is. This isn't fine furniture building, it's just a gate. So we'll put this waterproof glue, a bunch in here and all corners, and then we'll flip these over like so. And we'll use the square to square it up on the corners. We'll put about 5 in each corner, screws, and it'll be pretty solid, hopefully. And we got 2 3-foot sections for each side so it can fold in on itself. We'll describe that reasoning later, but for now, we'll just get all these put together. All right, yep, just squirt the glue in there. I put 1 screw on each side so it has flexibility, and so once we got that 1 screw in, then we use the square to square it up as best as possible, and then, you know, put 1 2 3 4 5 screws in each corner and rinse and repeat. I do 1 2 3 4 sections of these, but we just run through 2 real quick, and then we'll go on to siding level. All right, we set up my laser level here. I can see the green here. It fades because it's still kind of light out, but it's right where that pencil marks are. And we'll do the same over here. There it is, and we'll go right where that little arrow is. So that's the level. All right, so we just kind of hold it up there, mark off the middle of the little 2x4 sections on each end, and then level up some hinges that I had these from back when I made my tiny house on Anderson Island, and I had a shed that I had to take apart that was over the drain field, or could have been over the drain field in my septic. So I took the shed down and reused these little hinges that I had sitting in a box forever. And yeah, when you're only by yourself, you utilize clamps as extra hands, so that worked out well. Wanted to level it up or close as possible, put some bolts in there and adjust as necessary, and then fasten more bolts in there. And we got a third one right in the middle, even though it hangs out in the middle of nowhere on the end, but it's going to be covered up with these pickets anyway on the visual side on the out, so not a big deal. So we're back into measuring and cutting my little pickets, and I tell you what, this worked out so good because, you know, I had so many of these pickets, and you know, you cut a lot of waste off, but I literally, in the end, after I finished both sides of these gates, I think I have 3 boards left over, so that worked out really well. Would have been nice to have enough to do, you know, my whole yard, but that's you know, close to a half acre or just over a half acre, even though I have, you know, maybe a third of it already fenced. But so we'll just do some field fencing wire just for quickness and affordability. So these are just indoor hinges, so hopefully they'll last for these outer ones, but yeah, we'll get it done and hopefully it'll stand the test time, but we'll talk about that here. All right, here we are. It stays pretty much level all the way out to here because we're on this block. Let's see how bad it is once I let the weight on its own. Yeah, it's gone off a little bit because now it's sitting on itself. Let's bring it out a bit. Oh yeah, it can't hold the weight. So we'll have to like use blocks just to keep it up, which is fine. Well, I guess it can kind of support its own weight. I wouldn't expect it to do it for too long. So anyway, that's a good sign at least, until something gives way. But yeah, we'll work on it. All right, got some sag wheels here that we're gonna put on here on the outer end. I'll probably get another set because I'll put one in there somewhere and somewhere over here just to take some weight off the hinges here. I mean, this isn't the most practical gate that I've ever seen, and I should have done, you know, some cross bracing here and there just to help with the sag, but then again, it just adds more weight to it. So who knows, we'll see if I ever do that. But for now, we're just going to put these on here, and then I also have the stakes that go in to hold it in place. But yeah, just got to figure out where I'm going to put them. So, you know, it has a couple bolt holes in it, so if I put it up against this 2x4, just sitting above the ground around here, so I want to have some weight on it, so we got to put it probably halfway down, you know, in there, and then the second part will be sitting in no man's land. So I just cut this little wedge and we'll screw it up in there in a bunch of spots to give it some strength, and then we'll put the second bolt through the bottom one, so hopefully that'll work. All right, so we got that on, and then since there's a break in this, you know, gate, you know, to keep it taut and straight as can be, I got a couple of these, and so it just pulls it together so it can't bend. I'll put two on this side and maybe one on the other side. We'll see what two does and if it straightens it out or not. And you know, it's not the strongest ones you can get, but hopefully just enough to kind of keep it straight. You know, I don't think any dogs are gonna be jumping on this, so we'll see how it goes. All right, last thing I got here is this little anchor, and you put these clips up here like so. So this goes in, and then you put a tube in the ground so it anchors it down so it stays in place. So we'll do that on this side and the other. Well, it's starting to rain, so maybe we won't do it now, but we'll get it done. All right, so this is it for now. I think we'll end it here. I got the wheels put on to alleviate some pressure from all the weight here, and we stayed pretty level on this end, actually very level. This one's a little bit off, but you know, still pretty much within the bubbles there, so not too bad. I think it changes as you go in or out. I got these on here. I want to put one on the other side to keep it straight on both ends. Almost matches up, and there's enough room here to put another picket so it will span the gap here. Or I'm thinking about making like a sheath thing that goes down and over. It's like this wide, and so it holds them together, because the anchors I was going to put in here, they were kind of, I don't know, the brackets, there's a little channel in it, and you had to turn the L bracket backwards, but the 2x4 is in the way, so I don't know if that was a design flaw or whatever, but they're not going to work. So I'm going to send them back and either get a different set, or like I said, put a thing over this made out of wood to hold these two together. But otherwise, we'll just end it here. I think it looks all right. It's good enough to keep doggers in the yard, or at least this front end of the yard. All right, loose the goose. But they can go out over yonder way because we haven't put the wire fencing up, and there's the roll right there. So we'll go that way, and then one on the back side, and dogs will stay in here, hopefully. But this will end it for now. So stay tuned for the next one sometime in the future. All right, y'all. Take care. Bye-bye.